So, have you ever been in one of those leadership meetings where everyone keeps talking about the plan? HR's got a plan, your manager's got a plan, the whole company has a plan. And you're just sitting there thinking, what are we actually talking about here? Well, you are definitely not alone. And in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that confusion and give you a super simple framework to figure out what's really being asked of you.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to pin down what we mean by the plan problem. Then we'll look at these plans as specific tools for specific jobs, which is a game changer. After that, we'll build a little field guide to spot the huge difference between plans for growth, correction, and direction. Then we'll get into why mixing them up is so harmful. And finally, we'll talk about how to turn your plan from just a good idea into real, actual impact.
This whole confusion thing, it's probably one of the biggest reasons that development efforts just fizzle out. We end up building the wrong thing, we measure the wrong thing, and then we act all surprised when nothing really changes. It all starts with the words we use. And that gets us to the real, central question. When your boss says you need a plan, what do they actually mean? Are we talking about growing your skills? Correcting some kind of performance issue? Are we trying to map out your long-term career? Or is this just about hitting this year's numbers? Getting this wrong isn't just a small mix-up. It pretty much sets everybody up for failure right from the get-go. The absolute best way to slice through this confusion is to think about each type of plan as a specific tool in a toolkit. I mean, you wouldn't use a hammer to saw a piece of wood, right? Well, the exact same logic applies here. Each plan is designed for a very specific job. And this, right here, is the bottom line. Using the wrong tool doesn't just get you the wrong outcome, it can cause some serious damage. A development plan is a tool, and picking the right one is the most critical first step you can take. All right, so let's build that field guide. We are going to clearly define the plans that get confused the most, the ones for growth, for correction, and for direction. That way, you can instantly see what kind of tool you're actually being asked to use. This is really where the clarity starts. Okay, first up, the Leadership Development Plan, or LDP. Now, this is a very specific tool. Its whole purpose is to strengthen those core leadership behaviors. Things like your ability to create clarity for your team, influence others, and delegate work effectively. It's all about how you show up and lead day in and day out. Now, here's the part you absolutely have to understand about an LDP. It's a growth system. The whole thing starts with the belief that you are already capable, and its only focus is on building your next level of impact. It's about going from good to great. Next, let's talk about the Personal Development Plan, the PDP. This is also a growth tool, but it's got a much wider scope. It's all about figuring out what you want to achieve, personally and professionally. That might include leadership, sure, but it could also be about public speaking or a new technical skill or even a personal habit you want to build. So the crucial distinction is this. A PDP is a personal growth system. An LDP's goal is to make your leadership stronger for your team, but a PDP's goal is to make you stronger in whatever part of your life or career you choose. See the difference? And now, for a completely different tool in the shed, the Performance Improvement Plan, or PIP. This tool really only exists for one reason: when an employee's performance is falling below what's expected for their job. It is a formal, manager-driven, and time-bound process. Yeah, let's just be really blunt about this one. There's no sugarcoating it. A PIPE is a performance correction system. The assumption here isn't about growth, it's about a deficiency. There's a problem and it needs to be fixed fast. This is fundamentally totally different from an LDP or a PDP. This table really just lays it all out, nice and simple. An LDP is for strengthening your leadership, assuming you're capable. A PDP is for your personal goals, assuming you want to grow. And a PIP is for performance gaps, assuming there's a problem. Different purposes, different assumptions, and definitely different tools. So to finish up our toolkit, let's quickly touch on two other plans that are all about direction. A career plan, well, that sets your long-term destination. We're talking years down the road. Annual goals are your immediate targets, the stuff you need to get done this year. It's so important to remember these are about what you achieve, not how you lead. You could hit every single one of your annual goals and still not become a better leader in the process. Okay, so we've got our toolkit straight. But what happens when we reach for the wrong tool? This is where the real damage starts, when these different plans get all mixed up. Here is the first and, honestly, maybe the most damaging problem. An LDP is supposed to feel like this great growth opportunity, something that sparks curiosity and engagement. But when it gets confused with a PIP, The leader immediately feels threatened. And their response? It's defensive, not developmental. And let me tell you, real growth just cannot happen when you feel threatened.
And the second huge pitfall is when an LDP gets confused with just another list of annual goals. See, the whole point of an LDP is to build your capability as a leader. But when it's just treated like more stuff to deliver, you don't get a better leader. You just get a busier leader, one who's on the fast track to burnout. So how do we dodge these traps and make sure our plans actually, work? The key is to get past just having good intentions and to focus on the one thing that truly creates impact: changing behavior. And this right here is the ultimate goal. A true leadership development plan isn't about learning concepts or just hitting targets. It is a system designed to turn your intent to be a great leader into repeatable behavior that your team can actually see and feel every single day. So I'll leave you with one critical question to ask yourself. Take a hard look at whatever plan you're working on right now. Is it actually building your capability for the long haul, or is it just another to-do list that's consuming all your energy without making you a better leader? Because knowing the difference, well, that changes everything.